Black history is the base for this channel, and I fell in love with it because it helped me navigate through life. The more I learn about the past, the more I understand the present, and that gives me a general understanding of the future. So I made this channel to share the information that I learned to help others get a better understanding of the present condition for Black people and to get them to appreciate Black history more. However, there's a dark side to learning more Black history, because the more you learn, the more you understand how messed up life was and it still is for Black people, and just how long it's going to take for the changes we want to actually happen. So in this video, I will use Black History Month as an example to show just how far away we are from achieving equality as Black people in America. The story of Black History Month begins 50 years after the 13th Amendment abolished slavery in the United States in 1915 with the creation of the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. It was founded by Carter G. Woodson, a Harvard-trained historian, and prominent minister Jesse E. Moreland, as a response to the lack of information on the accomplishments of Black people available to the public. In 1926, the group declared the second week of February as Negro History Week to recognize the contributions of African Americans to U.S. history. This week was chosen because it included the birthdays of both Frederick Douglass, an abolitionist, someone who wanted to end the practice of enslaving people, and former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, who led the United States during the Civil War, which was primarily fought over the enslavement of Black people in the country. Moving on, prior to the creation of Negro History Week, few people studied Black history, and it wasn't included in textbooks. So, during the next 50 years, Negro History Week grew more in popularity, with American cities initiating their own celebrations of Black achievements, and with teachers, particularly in schools with a large percentage of African American students, using class time to discuss contributions to history made by notable African Americans. In addition, the Black Awakening of the 1960s dramatically expanded the consciousness of African Americans about the importance of Black history, and the Civil Rights Movement focused Americans of all colors about the contributions of African Americans to our history and culture. As a result, in 1976, Negro History Week was expanded to become Black History Month, with U.S. President Gerald Ford urging Americans to participate in its observance and calling upon them to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. Since then, every U.S. president has officially designated the month of February as Black History Month. At the beginning of the 21st century, Black History Month was celebrated within the range of events at public schools, universities, and museums. It was sponsored at the national level by such groups as the renamed Association for the Study of African American Life and History, the Library of Congress, the National Archives and Records Administration, the National Endowment for the Humanities, the National Gallery of Art, the National Park Service, the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, and the Smithsonian Institution, which created Washington, D.C.'s National Museum of African American History and Culture. Furthermore, companies and brands have celebrated Black History Month by highlighting Black businesses and leaders, investing in skills and scholarships, commissioning Black designers to remake their products, supporting the fight against racial injustice, and honoring and celebrating the Black family. That all sounded good, huh? Black History Month. Finally, Black people are being recognized for their achievements and are being celebrated in America. But to me, that is not enough. First of all, Black History Month, it's a month, and a month is not even enough to go over the vast history of Black Americans. And the way we celebrate Black History Month is not enough, because it's mostly the achievements. The lowlights are mentioned, but for the most part are glossed over. They make it seem like, oh, it was just a long time ago. Everything is good now. But we see everything is not good. And one of the main reasons is because, the events that led to the creation of Black History Month was not that long ago. Black History Month was recognized in 1976. My parents were born in the 1950s. They were around my age when Black History Month was created. So you think about 50 years of this is enough to really change things? And you could dispute me, saying, oh, things are good for Black people. What about the successful black people we see? The basketball players, the musicians, the entertainers, and all the other people. And I'll tell you this, these are the new rich. These people are just getting money. They don't compare to the older rich. And the old rich are the people that own the NBA, that own the NFL, and that own the music companies. And to even become owners or just on top of those industries, you will have to have been rich before that. So they're not coming in saying, oh, I'm about to become a billionaire. They're already billionaires. I'm bringing that up to say that the wealth that we have is nothing in compared to the wealth of the old money. And wealth is important because without it, you can't really change things in America. So it shows you that we are in an illusion of inclusion. Because yes, these companies and brands celebrate Black History Month. But if it doesn't change the status quo of things, does it really help? Not really. So all this goes back to my original point. It's going to take us a long time to get where we really want to get. And that's equality. Because we're not that far removed from the atrocities that have affected us. So until we could establish our wealth as Black people, get through the growing pains of, yo, I'm just struggling, I'm just trying to get to this money, I don't care about whatever state you talking about, Black empowerment, Black power. Hey man, if Black power ain't giving me money, it doesn't matter. Until we get away from that, the equality that we're trying to get is just it's gonna take a long time. So yeah, that's my video. Sorry to make it bleak, but shit, reality is tough, and trying to get change is even tougher.